it is that time again, guys. We're back with another season. It's season 18 of the BSL, or should I say NAPL, because we've got 4 NA players. We've even got NA Cass. Joining me is resident NA Protoss, Raz. What's up?
Not much, Naokin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited for these groups because we've got all NA players in this group. We've got all NA players tomorrow except for Tarson. He's the one EU hope. So I'm looking forward to seeing some NA reps go into the round of 16.
That's right. We're guaranteed to at least get 2 from this group. So that's the only thing we're sure of so far.
Yeah, we actually have a little bit of NA competition going on because we've got 2 Canadians facing off versus 2 Americans. And our first matchup is going to be the Canadian Dragon going up against everybody's favorite insurance salesman. It's Hawk.
Oh, man. Hawk, Stormgate Pro on his revival back to Brood War. Hoping to take down Dragon. ZVP, probably his strongest matchup. Really, really good and tough for Dragon, but Dragon's no slouch. He's a BSL Pro League regular, and he's definitely going to challenge Hawk here today.
Yeah, Dragon, whenever tournaments start happening, I guess he really starts practicing quite a bit. And you know, in the past couple of months, actually, there's been quite a few tournaments. You had the Oystein tournament, you had the NA Masters tournament that's finishing. Now we've got BSL. So I actually have high hopes for Dragon here. But like you said, Hawk, I think his best matchup is ZVP. Now, even though the players are really strong here, what a group for him. You've got Protoss the entire way through. So feels like this could be a good scenario for our NA Zerg.
Yeah, definitely positive for him, right? When you're practicing in a group, when you only have one race, that's fantastic. You can really just spend your time playing CVP to get ready for it. So lucked out for him. But I think he'll show us a strong performance today.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but when I play ladder, it's 90% Protoss, so it should be real easy for Hawk to find some practice on the ladder. We're getting a look at the results for these players. Actually, if you look at Dragon stats, look at that, 75% win rate versus Zerg. That's absurd. However, you can see his results are basically like a round of 16 type of player. I know he made it into, was it round of 4? I think it was a long time ago, BSL6 or something, because that was the tournament that I got like top 8 or something, and I ended up losing to Dragon. So even though lately he's round of 16-ish, you know, he can definitely go very far. And then you look at Hawk's results here. Even though it says round of 24, that's not right either. I remember him going deep a couple times.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And one thing I noticed right away is Dragon's ladder stats, like almost 200 games played. Over 200. So you know he's active, you know he's playing a ton, because that's a lot of games right there. So he's definitely ready.
He should be ready, and like you said, Hawk, expert versus Protoss, 60% win rate versus Protoss, and you know, generally, the players that make it to the finals of BSL are Protoss players, so that's including Gaines versus DeWalt, including Gaines versus Bonnet, including Gaines versus potentially John Hoon. So 60% win rate versus players of that caliber is no joke. And are we getting into the game soon? I think we are, right? Here we go. Everybody knows when we see this screen, the map, we know that we are ready. We're going to be going into Dark Origin as our first map. Keep in mind, this is best of 3 the whole way. It's not ASL where it's best of 1. We're going best of 3 all the way, baby. So let's get into the first game of our series. Okay, in the top left, our Protoss. It is Dragon.
And in the bottom right, we have Hawk. Now, Nogan, I'm sure we can relate to this with our group tomorrow, but playing against people you play with a lot, do you think we'll see some mind games, some trickery, because you're just so used to playing with those people?
That's the downsides of playing with your friends. That's kind of the main reason I like to ladder, is because when I go into ladder, they don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. You just have to react on the fly. But yeah, we could see some mind games. You know, I don't remember if Dragon is like a cannon player, or I mean a forge player or a gate opener player, but he may be mixing in something. We've got a really, this is a really fast scout, is it not? Like, He's intending to do more than just block the hatchery.
Yeah, he's going to see what's going on, deciding if he wants to go Nexus first, if it's Overpool, which it is. He's going to scout there right now. And while he's here, he can just harass the drone line, get up those drones that are on boosting well, try to pull them off, block the hat. So he can make a lot of things happen here with this probe just to be annoying to start the game off.
Well, he does confirm that it is Overpool. The drone went down to the natural really quickly. I'm not sure if he was trying to scout for like a cannon rush or what the intention is there, but we'll see if the probe can actually deny this hatchery. It looks like Hawk's actually going to take his third base as his natural.
Yeah, he doesn't want to deal with the probe. He's just going to get it down. Now it's going to be Forge first here. So if it was Zealot opener, it would be much more difficult to hold, right? Your third versus your main, with Zealot's walking all over the place. But we see it's Forge, then Nexus. So he should be safe, no problems. Let's see if he's greedy here and goes Gateway too.
If he goes Gateway before cannon, isn't he dead? Okay,
Oh,
there we
no.
go. There's the cannon. I'm sitting here like, okay, I realize he scouted it, but there's no point to scout it if you don't react to it. It is going to be cannon first, and that means that these lings shouldn't really do much damage.
Yeah, sometimes you go the Gateway and be greedy, because usually when they see the probe this early, they know it's Forge, so a Zerg player will keep their lings at home to chase the probe, so you try to be a little greedy, but oh man, almost got it right away.
Yep, almost takes down that probe. DragOn desperately needs to keep this alive as long as possible, because versus Zerg, you really need to know what they're doing, whether it's going to be, no gas, whether it's going to be Hydras, whether it's going to be Lair, and his probe is already going to be pushed out. I hope Hawk just holds position on the ramp here with a couple lings to make sure the probe can't get back in, but instead he chases.
Wow. He's trying to get this probe. He wants it, clear it, so maybe he's just going to put a Hydra down right away. We'll see. I mean, in today's meta, with all the different Hydra busts that Zerg can do now, the speed Hydra all in, just 973, keeping that probe alive is just so big. So it's unfortunate that DragOn loses it.
Cybernetics already coming down. That seems faster than I was anticipating. Like, that seems really fast, is it not?
It's pretty quick. He should be able to get the 415, or maybe not the 415 Stargate. Usually when you go Forge first, you can get it around 415, 420-ish. So,
I'm just trying to think relative to most likely the Spire timing of Hawk. I feel like the Stargate, well, I'm assuming it's a Stargate, is going to be pretty damn fast, maybe potentially rack up a couple of Overlords, not just one. In Hawk's main, I'm looking to see, is there any hydrogen, any additional building? I don't see it, so it is just going to be Lair.
Yeah, this is pretty quick Stargate. He's on time with it. DragOn definitely does not shy away from making Sayers, vital in this matchup. Don't want to play against the Mutalisk when you don't have Sayer. So, he usually gets 5-6 of them with the +1 and then pushes out with the 1-1-1 kind of timing. So, pretty standard here for DragOn.
Everything looks very normal. No +1 just yet for him. I saw him spend 100 gas on something. I'm going to imagine it's +1 at the, right there. +1 on the ground.
Yeah, everything very standard here from Hawk as well.
Whoa,
Nothing crazy.
Is that standard? That's a Hydroden.
Ooh,
That's
what is a Hydroden?
4-hatch?
4-hatch Hydra incoming.
Well, he's got a Lair, so this could be for a bust. It could also be, I guess, for lurkers. Remember, Dark Origin's got that building in the back. You just do a little bit of AoE, and all of a sudden those, generators get taken down, and that opens up, a big opening in the backside. 3 Zealots moving across the ramp, but however, okay, they're not going to commit. I think that's smart. He's going to still get one of the Zealots, maybe.
It's a good position here from DragOn, getting on the bridge to kind of just block the surface area of these lings, but I don't think all 3 of them are going to make it home, Naokin. One will be lost on his journey.
I kind of think DragOn's already in trouble. Like, the drone count seems pretty good. 27 to 34. It's Hydras, it's not Spire. Okay, it's speed. Luckily, the Corsair's going to come in here and see that, hey, dude, you don't have a Spire, you just have a Hydra Den. So he should know that this is a bust. But, as a Zerg, just because you show something doesn't mean that's actually what you're going for. He could just drone behind this, force out a billion cannons, and have drones.
Yeah, worst case scenario for Protoss, right? If he just makes drones and you make 6 cannons, your gateway timing's off and everything. So we'll see what DragOn does here. If he's just going to keep these Sair, harass, see how many Hydra pop out. It's the best thing he can do at this point. It's just get information.
Well, this is a big supply block. He might actually get 2 Overlords. Ooh, not going to commit to it. Too many Hydras at this point. Speed is already done, by the way. Range coming in. I saw speed is like almost done for the Zealots also, but there's not that many Zealots out right now, which is why you see DragOn scrambling to put down more gateways.
Yeah, he's going to need some more cannons if Hawk decides to push this timing. Storm will not be up in time. And with the speed upgrade for the Overlords, you're not going to be able to pop them and get a DT to protect you. They'll just keep flying in. So DragOn probably going to need some cannons if... Oh, never mind. He knows better.
Well, this is actually 5-hatched, and like I said, just because you show Hydra Den doesn't mean that you're going Hydras. He builds a couple of drones right in those Corsair's face, but I don't know if DragOn actually saw that it was actually drones that got produced. However, he must have seen it because I still don't see additional cannons coming down. He's kind of playing with fire in a sense.
Yeah, Speed Hydra can get there real fast and can be real dangerous, but we see him getting a whole round of Templar out. He'll probably get 4, save up the energy. A little Zealot move out here. I'm surprised.
Yeah, he's like, you know what, you ain't gonna fight? Well, I'm gonna go fight then. Get me in here. It's 7 Zealots versus, what is it, like 10 Hydras, a couple of Lings. This could have been a mistake. Really good body block on the bridge there to prevent the Zealots from getting home.
Yeah, DragOn just going to be annoying with these Zealots, it seems. Just going to kind of run around. But Hawk looking to go in here. If he goes in, he's going to get sandwiched by this army.
Yeah, I don't think he can commit here. The Zealots from the back plus the cannon would do devastating damage. In fact, he may have overstepped either way. It's so many Zealots here. However, they were low health, and we see a lot of the Hydras actually falling. A DT sneaks out. Not sure if Hawk actually saw the blur. Now look at this. Hawk is taking a 4th base already.
No Overlord here at the 3rd, Nyokin. Sairs see that there's none. I'm assuming that DT is probably going to make its way over there very soon. Oh, there's that Overlord. Hawk's aware that there must be something on the map. Sair just sitting over the 3rd, kind of tipping him off.
I feel like Protoss should be able to punish this. Like, you're watching this guy go from 5-hatch Hydra into 7-hatch Hydra with a 4th base. I guess Protoss did lose, what was it, like 9 Zealots overall or something? So his supply isn't as high as it could be, but you know, you don't have to worry about mutas. There's no Spire. I haven't seen Lurkers just yet. I feel like DragOn, if he does like a cycle of Goons or more Zealots, maybe he can go punish this 4th base.
Yeah, he's going to just have to get his gateways going. If he goes 8-9 gate and kind of pushes out, he might be able to get to it, especially because Hawk has made a lot of drones, right? We're already on 46 drones. So if we're making drones, we're not making Hydra. But I would like to see DragOn put these Sair through the base just to see if there is a Spire, because 2 Muta don't help versus, 10 Mutalisk. So it's something he might want to check out and see what's going on there.
Yep, he is not going to confirm anything, but this is starting to get into a pretty dire situation for DragOn if he doesn't do anything about this 4th base. Like you said, the drone count is already huge. Now he confirms the Spire, so if you want to punish Zerg, now's the moment to punish them. If you let them get away with this 4th base, I mean, Protoss doesn't even have a 3rd Nexus, so that's going to be really rough.
Yeah, the game just gets out of hand, right? Oh, we're going to lose both of our Sair. That's unfortunate there. But the game can get out of hand really quickly. If Zerg gets up to 50, 60 drones, like, without being punished, it's just very hard to manage.
Well, this might actually be an anti-timing, because the Spire just finished. All the Sairs died. Not that there were many to begin with, but there's no Sairs anymore. There is a lot of Dragoons, but if there's a Mutacycle, it's okay. It's not going to be a Mutacycle. It's going to be Lurkers. I did notice he had a Robo at his natural, but I don't think the Observer's out anytime soon. He does spot the Lurker egg, but it just started, so maybe we can push through. Ooh.
Good storm there.
Not willing to commit. He's had Templars bank up a lot of energy. A lot of them actually have double storm available, but he's not willing to push into this 4th base. And look at the drone count, 58 to 48. Zerg is going to explode, and actually he's got Lurkers and Mutas. How does that happen?
Oh no, this is worst case scenario here, right? These Mutalisks come out, we don't have a Dark Archon, we don't have any Sair. They can just wreak havoc on these Templars, or even if they don't kill them, just forcing out storms from them is just as good, right? They're become pretty much useless.
Yeah, I don't
But
think DragOn can attack anymore. I guess actually these lurkers are a little far forward, so that could be a gift. Actually, if you look at the actual army of Zerg, it's tiny. What is it? 7 Hydras, 6 Mutas, and 3 lurkers? If DragOn knows that this is just what Zerg has, he's definitely gonna go. Here he goes.
he's pushing. No.
He's gonna bust through. There's just nothing here. There's one sunken.
Oh, gonna pop the observer, but it doesn't matter. There's no other lurkers here, but he doesn't know that. If he pushes up here, he probably can bust this position. If he gives it any more time, Hawk is going to be all set up. As you can see, the Hydra cycle is just coming out now.
Yeah, I think his moment of opportunity is come and gone. Actually, the lurkers are in position. It's high ground now. Hydras are in position. Sunken is, very, very strong. And I think smartly, DragOn is just going to take a Nexus himself.
Yeah, DragOn does have map control in the middle here, which is Dark Origin is one of the most important things, right? So if you're able to just, oh no, not the Templar, not the Templar. But if he's able to keep his unit count up and control the middle of the map, he probably could just take his fourth as well and kind of stall and sit out, which DragOn's very good at. DragOn's very good at just taking bases, sitting, using Storm, Dragoons, dragging games out, taking bases. So a style he's comfortable with.
Yep, those mutas, what is it? Okay, it's still 6, dangerously low in health. And somehow he split, oh, I was about to say he splits the defense, but the goons actually intercept him. He still gets a Templar. I would say 2 mutas for 1 Templar at this point. It's pretty worth. DragOn smartly realizes, like, hey, I've got a massive army. Why don't I just take another base? And that's what he's going to do. Now it's getting into the hardest part of Dark Origin. We're going split map. Zerg is already 2-1. Jeez Louise, upgrades are crazy. But he doesn't have Hive just yet. So he's just going to stick on these +2 upgrades.
Yeah. DragOn's actually lacking behind in upgrades. Big deal that these Dragoons and Zealots only have +1 armor versus +2 attack. The Hydra and the Lurkers will just chew through them.
Yep, definitely need to start.
Oh, more Muta here.
Yep, more Muta. He wants those Templars. I mean, he got his 4th base so quickly. 4 gas. He can afford to build more Mutas. But Zerg has no control over the center. I've seen so many games where it gets to this point, but then Protoss just has an unkillable army in the center. They just storm your worker line over and over and over, and eventually Zerg crumbles. Muta's gonna be looking for those Templars. Ooh, could be a juicy
big storm. Ooh.
Well, that's basically dead supply at this point. Those Mutas are so damaged.
Yeah, they're not gonna be able to go back in and do too much now. Or at least you wouldn't think so, but they are Muta. You know how pesky they can be.
Those things just don't die, so many games. I feel like my turrets have shot this one Muta a million times, and then nope, the turret just spread damage to all of the different ones. None of the Mutas actually die. We're approaching max for both sides. Zerg basically max. DragOn 160 supply. Mutas will find Templars for free. Does he have the amulet? No amulet, so no 75 energy.
Oh man, 73, that's crazy. And now we're getting some probe kills here. Probe count 50 for DragOn, not bad on 4 bases. I know we were talking about this where we're seeing more pro gamers don't go past that 50-55 mark in PvZ, where they're just trying to stack units.
Yeah, and you just eventually get this army that just never dies. Like, you just have such an overwhelming army advantage with, all your AoE damage, whether it's Storm, Reaver, Sares. And, a lot of games I watch of Snow, he sits at around 50 to 46 probes. It's pretty nuts. The Muta's still trying to find an opening. I guess there's technically an opening right here, and he will pop a couple of probes. Look at this. DragOn is actually the first one to get a 5th base, despite Hawk getting his 4th so quickly.
Yeah, good harassment there from Hawk, though, taking out a lot of the probe line. But he's on the timer now, right? Even though he's getting up to Hive, he's maxed, he's got to do something, because if DragOn can secure bottom left and split the map, really good for a Protoss here, right?
Well,
really good.
I think this was Zerg's opportunity to get across the bridges. Now, if Protoss gets to the center again, he can just storm as Zerg comes across the bridges. But instead, he hasn't moved out. I don't know what Hawk is waiting for now. To be fair to Hawk, you know, Zerg just has a billion units to hotkey. So instead, he's just going to put down some more hatcheries. I saw a Defiler Mound in his base, so he does have hives. That means 3-3 should be on the way.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to secure top right. He seems like he's setting up some lurkers there. But like you're saying, the map here is just so hard now for Zerg unless they go from their fourth. I mean, to come over these bridges with Storm is just so difficult for Zerg.
Yeah, if I'm Dragon here, I've gotten 4 gases, 5 gases. I didn't lose basically my entire army. We're going split map. I'm starting to put down all those killer late game buildings. You know, more robos for Reavers. If I had Corsairs, I might be going B-Web. Instead, try and deny top right. I don't know. There's a lot of lurk. And look at this. Hawk knows all your stuff going to top right. It's my time to get across the bridges. It's just a massive flood of blue. I think this was a massive mistake from Dragon.
I think he should have sat there as well, Naokin. But we do have lurkers on the move. They're better set up, so maybe he can get some really good storms, which he is getting. Oh my goodness, that's another massive one. But the lurkers are burrowing in the back line with the Dragoons. And wow, I think Hawk has just cleared this army. And that's a big deal.
That's a huge swing. Of course, both players lose their entire army, but look at the minerals for a Hawk. 4K minerals. I was talking about how it's going to be hard for Zerg to get across the bridges. Well, he got across them real quick. Now it's legitimately like 10 hatch Zerg versus, what is it, maybe like 10 gate Protoss, but 10 hatch Zerg is insane production. He does have a couple of robos, so we do see Reavers starting to come through.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Templar army.
Yeah.
Ready to come out, man.
Looking like today's weather forecast could have a lot of storms. We've got a DT. I mean, he's looking to snipe that Defiler, but it's going to get picked off before he can get it.
Ooh. Poor DT. Tried so valiantly. And this is where the game state's going to get, you know, very strange, right? Because Hawk is now taking top right. He has avenues to all the bases. I think that's what we're going to start to see from him. You know, groups of units going here, groups of units going there, really forcing Protoss to defend in multiple fronts.
Yep, I really want to see the high tier units from Dragon. I think Protoss is just so strong in the late game, but you got to have all the spells, all the AoE damage. Now the onus is on Zerg to make something happen, because I think Protoss late game is just stronger. But where does he attack? There's a billion cannons. There's Reavers at each base. There's a million Templars. I don't even think those are the 9 at the natural. Those are just 5 more over on the left side. How do you engage into the 4th base? How do you engage into the bottom left?
Yeah, I don't know if he can. Not with Ling, Defiler, Archon, Storm, Reaver. I mean, these Lings are just going to explode.
Yeah, and then Archon's going to lead the way because he doesn't care about Plague. Yeah, come Plague me. Deal him 9 damage. I don't care. Defiler dies. He's trading Storm for just Lings. And we may actually be in for a long game. You know, I don't know what both players are thinking here. Is Zerg just going to camp? Is Protoss going to camp? But if I was Protoss here, I would be fine with just, you know, forcing Zerg to make a move on me.
Ooh, he picks that Defiler off right there. I think Hawk's goal right now is to try to cut this mid-left base off so he can attack bottom left. But it's like you're saying, that it's hard with Storm, Reaver, Cannon, Archon, it's difficult to attack into with just Ling and Defiler.
Well, just by the way, you know, the Dragon at his natural, right? He's spotting that back path. But if you look at bottom left, he has no spotter to check if Zerg clears the back path. So actually, if Zerg mines that out and goes for a big counterattack at the left side, yes, there are cannons. Yes, there's a couple Reavers. But that could be an opening for him, because all of the defense for Dragon is actually, you know, towards the center. Yeah, that's the pathway that I'm talking about. Darkswarm, Massling, Hydra could bust it.
Yeah, it's just Dragon has his army here now, trading really effectively. Hawk just making a ton of Ling. I guess he's hoping that if he plagues, swarms, everything, he could just go. I'm surprised that we haven't seen Hawk think about maybe a drop in the main, right? If you kill all the gateways and a lot of the buildings and you destroy the Protoss just structures, it's really hard for them to play. Oh, yeah, I say that.
Yep, now it is kind of hard to get a drop in simply because, you know, it's a 2-player map. You're going to see him coming from a mile away, but you are right, there are no Corsairs. So you would imagine that he should be able to get something through, whether it's, you know, straight diagonally or towards top right and then hook over towards the left side. But where is that drop going to actually, we have an observer at top right. Okay, there he goes. He's going to go to bottom left. I guess he forgot that you can actually mine out that position, and instead it's going to just directly drop. I don't know how this is going to work out, because look how many cannons there are. And you know, Dragon's army is pretty close. It's right here.
Yeah, this drop, maybe he can get Dragon to storm his own probe line, but here we go. We have Templar, we have a Reaver.
Yeah, and there's not that much AoE, actually. There's only 2 Templars here. There's no storms. Okay, there we go. First storm goes down. Well, look at the storms. They actually avoided a lot of the probes. I don't know how that happened. That was a failed drop. And, you know, Hawk, that was a complete fail. Dragon can just rebuild these cannons. Dragon lost basically no units. Hawk lost almost 40 supply there. I think Hawk could actually be in trouble. Despite having such a big bank, his third base is already mined out. You look at Dragon, he's starting to bank a lot in general. He's got 3k minerals, he's got a lot of gas. There's still Templars here for some reason. There's just so much storm available. Ooh, Templar.
Oh, good storm.
Yeah, but this attack isn't good. Like, he's gonna kill a couple of units, but this third base, you're never killing this. What's he gonna do? Plague it? He's lost a lot of units here. He's lost Hydras, Lurkers, he's gonna lose the Defiler. It does draw Protoss' army out of position again, but unless Zerg instantly attacks bottom left, I don't know if he can punish anything. If we look at bottom left, actually the cannons were not rebuilt that quickly.
Wow, Dark Archon out there as well. It's gonna start getting that feedback going to counter some of these Defilers as well.
Yeah.
And like you're saying here, now the high-tech units, Dark Archon down, are just a little bit too much for this Zerg composition.
Yeah, he's just gonna get swarmed by Protoss' army. Protoss has army at the top. He's got army at the left side. The Archons aren't doing any damage. That's a good storm. Knocks down one of the Templars. Now that's a big plague. It's gonna hit the goons. But the Lurkers are all going to fall here.
Yeah, weird position here for Hawk now, right? He's, like you said, he's got a huge bank, but where does he go with that bank? What does he make? You know,
Oh, he may have found an opening, because look at this. There's a lot moving towards the left side. Okay, there's 1 Reaver, 1 Templar, 2 Templar down there, 2 Reavers, I think. Where's the Defiler? It all comes down to the Defiler here. If he can get down the Dark Zone.
Here we go.
None. There's no Defiler. There's a DT here. Reavers are not firing. They're a little bit too far away from the ramp. Storm. Really good storm. He hits the Lurkers. He hits more Lurkers. Oh,
wow.
He's chewing through those cannons.
But once again, another entire Zerg army traded just for cannons here and a couple Zealot. I think Dragon's okay with that every day of the week.
But more lings are flooding. That's a lot of lings. However, these are Reavers, man. They do tons of damage. I don't think
they're on a scare.
Yeah, I don't think the lings are. Oh, he loaded up the Reaver that was hurt. Super hurt. Ends up saving it. The Lurker's gonna move. Oh, he may end up killing a lot of the probes. Okay, he might have actually gotten it. No, I mean, this is such a huge attack.
Yeah, I think he's busted through here finally. He's going to take this base down. That might prompt Dragon to get on the offensive as well. He can either save this base or do a counter somewhere. And it seems like he wants to counter to the Nat. Wow, the third here.
If he counters this before the Lurkers get set up, it could do no, he's not going to. I think it's actually smart to just save this base. Because like I said, like every fight is just so effectively traded for Dragon. He's still got a lot of mining. If he can just rebuild this base, he's fine. Hawk has mined out 3 bases already. He's going to be mined out on his 4th base in a minute.
Yeah, I think if he just takes this again, he can sit here, right, and can just continue to drag the game out longer and longer. You know, not having that high probe count, he's not mining all of his bases out as quick as 65 drone Zerg, so I think you're right, Nogan. He doesn't really got to do much.
Okay, again, this is a huge Lurker army. Storms, where are they? Need the storms. There's a good one, but there's so many Lurkers.
Another good storm there. The cannon's helping, but the Hydra army is really chewing through a lot of this stuff.
Did he run out of storm? He's retreating to high ground. Some of the goons are going to start falling. There is a probe up here, so he can start building cannons. Reavers need to go to the low ground and try and help prevent this base from being overrun, but they didn't get there in time. Now, again, I think Hawk is going to shut this down. He does have a couple of storms, got to cast it. Oh, it hits every lurker. Fantastic.
Big storm. But not enough, man. Not enough. We're still going to get this base canceled. Dragon is cutting off that avenue to the bottom left because he knows that he has to take this base over. And if he just doesn't continue to fight for it and Zerg gets up there and gets a hatchery down, it's going to be impossible to break. Yeah, so he's got to continue to get there.
Yeah, he's got to secure this base. And all of a sudden, actually, Dragon's in a bit of trouble here because... well, one, he's getting surrounded, but also if you look at his gas, it's extremely low. He has almost no gas incoming. It's like very slowly going up.
Oh my goodness! 3 Templar from Lings, man. Ay, ay, ay. That hurts.
OGT man to save the day. Where's the observer?
Oh.
Here's the observer. This is perfect.
They do like 49 damage at this point, Noke, and they're really hitting hard.
Yeah, they are hitting hard. He put down, what was it, 2 out of the 4 lurkers or something? Really well done right there. Dragon, he doesn't make a move, though, to bottom left to actually secure the base.
Yeah, I was surprised that he's not just trying to come back and do it again. I mean, he knows he needs this base. He knows that he has to secure it again. Hawk has mined out the back over there, so he will be able to start setting units from another pathway down there. So Dragon needs to get on this high ground before it's too much. And oh no, the Reaver.
Yep, he's got to get up here. He's got to get up here ASAP. If he can hold it. Oh, he lost the shuttle and it had 1 Reaver in there. How many Reavers does he have left over? Obviously, there's 1 right there. But this lurker plus high ground is such a killer position for Zerg to be in. Looks like there's actually not going to be enough. You just see so much red moving across the map.
Yeah, Dragon trying to take the high ground himself so he can fight these units coming up from the other pathway. And if he could do that with the Reavers, he should be able to secure this base again.
Protoss' army is huge, man. Oh, from the backside again. Templar, good storm. There's 2 Reavers this time to help support them. I don't think Zerg can go to high ground to 4th base. Where's the Defiler? There's no Defiler here.
Yeah, right now. Oh, another High Templar picked off. But right now, Protoss looking really strong. Dragon starting to take control of this game again by securing that bottom left. Hawk sending a ton of drones down there. Maybe just wants to get rid of them. He wants more supply, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have any use for them because all he's mining is top left.
I'm surprised that Hawk isn't trying to hit the mid-left base from the low ground. Like, get to the middle with some lurkers, you know? Oh, no. Free Reaver. Oh, no.
Hawk is attacking the front side at the same time. Dragon, I don't know if he actually got any cancels off. No, it doesn't seem like it because his money didn't shoot back up. So those were all just directly killed cannons right there. More Lings moving in. An interception. The Templars and the Goons. There's a storm. Need some more storm.
Ooh, another good one storm there.
Hawk is literally sending everything. Like, this is his entire army. Everything plus drones. But the ramp, it's so hard to bust.
Yeah, this is tough here, and we have more supply coming down from Protoss from the other side to help here. This army looks like it's going to get wiped again, and like we were saying before, now this is just really hard to trade into. And Hawk's bank all of a sudden went from 4K to 1.5. Like he's running out of money.
Yeah, and look at his supply. It's 140 to 110 now. He may have broken Hawk's back here. The lurker, those 2 lurkers are doing so much damage. The Lings are not going to be able to chew through these zealots. They do, or the Hydras actually do get all of the Templars. So I think there's, okay, actually there's a lot of Templars still left over. 3 Templars. Dragon needs to put all of his defense at bottom left. This is the only base that matters. 1 lurker moves in. There's only 1. There's a Defiler that I was waiting for. This is such a close game. It gets tough though.
Wow, big storm right there on the ramp. Another one. All those Lings and those lurkers go down.
Whoa.
Can he hold here? He does again. Wow.
This is so close. Dragon needs to send everything. Hawk knows it all comes down to this base. He is sending everything as fast as he can. Lings are so strong, but the Reaver, Archon, Templar combo is just so much spell damage. More Lings are going to die.
Yeah, and we're just trading out energy for units, which, hey, energy doesn't cost you money unless you lose the Archon when you morph it like that, but Hawk really needs to make a big play here for bottom left. And now Dragon's also mined out here.
Yeah, but Dragon's going to have his base up and running in a second. Dragon can literally lose, like, everything on the map except for his main, and he's his main and bottom left, and he's fine.
Yeah, he's doing a good job here playing the game for what it needs to be. He knows that if he secures this base and nothing... Oh, but here it comes in.
Yeah, but they
Hawk
can't get the
again.
Reaver. There's another Reaver. This is it. Dragon's done it. This is an amazing game.
This is wild here. I'm surprised that Hawk didn't mind that out. And there's the GG from Hawk. Wow. What a game there, Jaeyun. I mean, every base taken happens a lot in Dark Origin. But like we said, once it gets split map and the pros can get the Reaver, Storm, Archon, Zealot, especially on a high ground, you can hold a lot of Zerg units.
Yeah, you just have so much power holding the high ground with your AoE Reaver, with your Storms. You know, there was a Dark Archon in there for a moment. If he had Maelstrom there, that could have been great also. And Hawk, I feel like if you lose that game, what could you have possibly done better in the mid game? He had 60 drones, he had 4 bases, he had 7 hatch versus a Protoss that didn't even have their 3rd base. I'd feel like if I can't win that game, how can I possibly win any other one?
Yeah, his opening into the mid game couldn't have gotten any better, like you're saying. I mean, it's just unfortunate on that map that there's so many chokes that you can kind of set up your units and just kind of sit there and just, you know, let Zerg throw into you. As Zerg throws into you, you just got to make sure you're clicking the storms in good areas and you're wiping out units. But I think we'll see maybe a little more aggression from Hawk coming up. We'll see, you know, some 9-7-3 get started, and then just kind of throw DragOn off a little bit of his game, just kind of put some pressure on.
Yeah, for how big his econ was in the early game, I really did think Hawk was going to, like, just make sure Protoss never got a 4th base, but he legitimately sat there until max. I thought I was watching a Terran versus Protoss, like, wait, is this me playing where you just don't attack ever? But Hawk, he had the potential to go for it, didn't actually opt for it, and Dragon, he's up 1-0. Now, I think Dragon gets a veto, and then Hawk gets the map pick. I can tell you if I'm Dragon here, 100% I'm litting through any other 2-player map, because it feels like if I split, I'm going to win. And I think Hawk now should definitely go to a 4-player map. You know, he kind of lost because he didn't have the capability to take a 6th, 7th base. If he could have gotten one more base, probably would have been fine. What? How does a 2-player map get through? Okay, so Lobotomy, this is a BSL map, another 2-player map. We'll see how this goes. Let's get into game 2, see if Dragon can close it out. Okay, in the top left, up 1-0, it is Dragon.
And in the bottom right, we have Hawk. I don't know, Nick, and I'm not sure if this was the map to pick after last game.
In the qualifier tournaments, this map got played a couple of times. You know, as a Terran player, I didn't watch ZVP, but I did watch some TVP games, and there were some games where Terran was like massively down in supply, but Protoss just couldn't attack into this like center position. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, damn, this seems like a really hard map for Protoss to make any types of bust, you know, work. So I feel like we're gonna get in another scenario where Zerg wants to attack somewhere. Then hello, Protoss has all this AoE, you know, they're going to be kind of like Terran in this matchup. And I don't know what Zerg's going to do, because I feel like this is going to play similar to what we just saw, where Protoss splits the map, mass Storms, mass Reavers, and then Zerg runs out of money, if we get to that point.
Yeah, I haven't played many games on this map, PvZ, or seen many, so I don't know what the best meta is for it currently, but I would imagine, like you're saying, if you can just take bases in some of these high grounds and sit there and split the map, especially with the chokes in the middle being so tight, you can kind of plant your army in the middle of all the bases and kind of just move it back and forth.
Yep. Now, I will say that the main is quite large, so if you do get a drop in, you have a pretty big area to unload in and get a lot of damage. So I'm Forge coming down again, so we're seeing literally the identical opener from last game. In fact, Hawk doesn't even bother trying to put down his his hatch at the natural. Again, he just puts it down at the third base. And this is the third base that I'm talking about. Look at this tiny area. Like, there's a tiny area at the top above that. If you attack through there, you're gonna get stormed to death. If you come through the right side, you're probably gonna get stormed to death. Now, this is a cute move. Drone on the ramp. Ooh, Probe got the first shot.
Go, Probe, go.
What do you think he's actually doing with this? Like, is he trying to fake that, hey, I could be going gas, you better be worried, or what's the move?
I think he's just blocking the Probe from getting in for now, because he put his hatch at the third, and he'll take it here with this drone at his nat and just keep the Dragon's Probe out, so he's playing in the dark.
This looks like a good mind game. Okay, until he showed the hatchery. I was like, because remember last game, he sent his lings just chasing the Probe, but this time he is like, no, you can't get down this ramp. If I was Protoss and didn't see that hatch, I would think for sure that Zerg had gotten gas or something, but now that he sees the hatch, for sure, there's no way Zerg can afford gas and a hatch.
Yeah, I wonder what DragOn is thinking, especially because the first hatch is so far forward. Like, a lot of times that has signaled, okay, this is going to be some type of Hydra because we want the hatchery further up so we can get there quicker. But there's no gas from Hawk yet.
Yeah, still no gas. Not even a 3-minute gas. Ooh, hatchery, man.
4 hatcheries, wow. I'm not sure what he has planned here. If it's going to be some type of Ling +1 armor type of build, just kind of getting heavy drones, going into a quick hive from here, or if he has something else in mind. But the problem with this, at least for now, is what do you do about the Sair?
Yeah, he's going to have to rely on Hydras to defend the Sair again. Last game, he didn't really take much damage. What did he lose? Like 1 or 2 Overlords overall? So it wasn't really that impactful.
Yeah, and we see him just denying scouting for this Probe. DragOn did not see that 4th hatchery go down in the main, so I wonder if we're just gonna see Hydra Den or Double Den or something crazy, man, and just go bust DragOn, hope for the best.
Could happen. I don't think it's going to be a double den. This, I think, is just going to be mass drones into power. There's no gas being spent from Hawk just yet, so the hydrogen potential, I guess, is not going to happen. Oh, that Zealot did not get into the greatest spot. You thought it was. That's a 5th hatch. Again, the drone saying, no, you're not allowed in here.
Yeah, and this is the worst, right? When you're playing against Zerg, you just can't get in their base. You're like, what's going on? Oh, he does see the Hydra Den, though, there.
Well, to him, does this look kind of normal? Like, there's another hatch in the main, but he doesn't know this. Right now, this just looks like a 4th hatch to him, but we know it's actually 5. Maybe 6. Is that another hatch at his third base? No, those are lings.
Just some lings. Yeah, that is going to look pretty normal to him. I mean, especially after last game, seeing that Hawk went into 4-hatch Hydra Den. Now, all of a sudden, we have 5-hatch Hydra Den, which could just be a Hydra all-in at this point as well. Like, just nonstop Hydras and just push through. Try to beat that storm timing or letting Protoss get up any more cannons. But there goes down an Evo chamber as well.
Yep. Still no Hydras just yet, not even an upgrade. I don't see Hawk spending his gas, so I think this is another drone cycle. This guy's getting away with absolute murder. Meanwhile, I will say this, DragOn's build has gone unhindered also, right? Like, one of the things about DragOn is he doesn't miss his build. Like, it just doesn't happen. So he's hit everything. He's going to have a 4-gate timing. Sair does kill an Overlord. Now he will spot, hey, this looks familiar to last game. Hydra's on the menu. But he needs to get in here and spot that they're... Yeah, he needs to get in here and confirm no lair. When he knows that it's no lair, then he'll know that, hey, this is mass Hydra or big econ, you know, mass drone flood.
Yeah, and if he can get a lot of units out, he can either find a time here to bust if he sees that it's just drone.
Yeah, I like how he went
punish.
I like how he went to the third base again. He's like, wait a minute, no lair, did I miss it? Did I just not see it at the third base? But no, sir, no, dude. It's just he has not gotten a lair at all. And actually, he saw more drones being built at the third base. So again, DragOn just gets to power himself He will have a nice timing with his Zealots pretty soon. But where does he attack? There's no Sunkens at the natural. I think there's one Sunken at the third base. Here
Yeah, I
goes.
mean, he might be able to just hit the Nat, right? Like, go around the right side there and just, Ling giving a little high five to the Zealot. He might be able to just go right around this third and go right for the Nat with no Sunkens there, right? And just try to bust through.
Yep, well, again, if Hawk holds this attack, he'll be in a good position going into mid-game. He has even worker count, 42 to 41. He's got 3 bases. I imagine after he stops this attack, he's probably going to take either mid-right or bottom-left and just do what he did on Dark Origin. +1, look at this +1 timing. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Dragon doesn't miss, man. He nails his timing every time, but not willing to commit anywhere. That is a lot of Zealots. This is 13 Zealots. Wasn't it like 2 years ago people were doing a 7 Zealot, 730 timing?
Yeah, now this is a lot of Zealots early, man.
He's got so many that he could attack the Hydras and focus down the hatchery with the half of them.
Yeah, or just take down the den, right? And he can push through, and then he can't make any more Hydras, and you got +1 Zealots, Speed Zealot.
I like this move. This is cute. Look at this. There's no Hydras at the third base, so he's bodying these Hydras back, saying like, hey, you want to engage this Zero? You got to go through me. He does find 2 Hydras for free.
Yeah, this is really good pressure here from Dragon, just forcing Hawk right now to make a ton of units. But Hawk does have 45 drones. His build has allowed him to get a lot of eco.
Yeah, that's another Overlord that dies, and this time it does put Hawk in the red. DTs are out. We got the Maelstrom coming in for the Dark Archon. Muta switch coming in, so just like last game, he's going to be looking to pick off some Templars, but if he runs into a Dark Archon that has Maelstrom, that could get really bad really quick.
Those Dark Archons are really strong, man. Just one little Maelstrom, you just get everyone stuck. Storm the Muta, hit him with a couple Dragoons, and you're good to go.
He does see the Spire. Dark Archon just finished. Need about a minute to get 50 energy. So he needs about 45 more seconds to get enough for a Maelstrom. And the Mutas are coming out, and I actually think this is a massive anti-timing for Zerg. There are 4 Templars out. There are a billion Zealots. Plus there's going to be Maelstrom. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, he gets a couple, but going to be hard to get any other value here.
Yeah, I don't see how the Mutas do damage this game. I feel like the Dark Archon is going to do work here. I will say this, though. If he uses all his storms on Hydras, he won't be able to actually kill the air because there's no goons out. There are no Sares out. Drone cycle again, man. He's powering like crazy.
I know, 41 drones right now. I mean, Dragon, though, 50 probes. His eco is not skipped a beat either, and I feel like he's very far with this tech right now. Having Maelstrom, having Storm all ready to go, a ton of gateways are up. He should have a really strong push timing here, because if Hawk relies on the Muta to take out these Templar and they just go down for free, what's he going to do? How does he fight the Zealot Storm with just Hydra? I don't think he can.
Yeah, this looks like almost the same strategy as last game, but as Zero mentioned or shows right there, the Lurker upgrade a little bit slower than last game. It is again 7 hatch production. 67 hatch. Oh, but he got him! But he doesn't have Storm here. Oh, he does. There it is. See you later, Mutas, and that means that Hawk is in real trouble now.
Oh yes, cannot get the Templars. Gotta have to fight with just pure Hydra. I'm surprised Dragon has not moved out already, knowing that he just wiped the Muta, and that was a lot of supply. There shouldn't be Lurker and Muta. It's not like last game where Hawk had his 4th base up and a 4th gas. Like, he should know that he can push across the map.
Up and here he goes. He's up 25 supply. It's even worker count, so it's legitimately a 25 army advantage. That's a really good storm on the right side. Really good storm on the left side. So many Hydras have already fallen. Now it's a 50 supply lead.
Man, those were some big storms. Those Hydras are all pretty hurt, especially up top there. And we see Dragon moving his army in position. I'm sure he'll be taking a 3rd base as he pushes out here as well.
Well, I will say this, the +1 weapon for Hawk did start really quickly, so he may actually already have +2 or be close to +2, so he will, I think, again, have an upgrade advantage, but it's a 50 supply difference. At some point in PvC, it's just too much army to overcome. He has 7 hatch production, and he can afford it all. But again, these chokes are really tiny. Protoss thrives in tiny chokes. I don't think that this army can be denied. This hatch is 100% going to die.
Yeah, I think this base is not going to be here much longer on the map. I think we're just going to see it get run over, and oh my goodness, massive storm.
Oh, Hydra, Templar off in no man's land on the right side. Does lose one of them, but so far, DragOn has done ridiculous damage. There are lurkers on the right side, but they...
Oh my god, all 5. Wow.
This has got to be it.
5, and GG from Hawk.
Crazy, man. I told you, said at the beginning of the cast, like, DragOn, whenever tournaments start happening, he's practicing, and there's been 3 recent tournaments now, so you knew that he was going to be strong. I actually thought Hawk was going to crush through, you know, in the first game, but didn't happen, and now we talked about how good Hawk's ZVP is. All of a sudden, the DragOn looks really damn good, and, you know, the bottom side of the bracket doesn't get any easier. BoA and Jaeyun are there.
Yeah. I can't imagine that, you know, you look at the bracket like, oh, it's going to be easier. The only thing that gets weirder is it's going to be PvP for him in the next round no matter what. I feel like DragOn is a little more comfortable playing PvZ than PvP, but both are strong for him as well.
Yeah, so I think are we going into a break, or are we just going straight to the next series? Oh, we're going ham. We're going straight to the next series. So we've got PvP here. We've got Jaeyun versus BoA. I know you have a lot of familiarity playing versus BoA in NAPL. I know you like to goon man this guy. What do you think of BoA's PvP?
You know, he plays very standard, right? Like, he feels that he's the better player, so a lot of times you're just going to get a 1-gate Robo Reaver into an Expo, or 2-gate Reaver, and that's where you can kind of, at least for me, I look to try to explain, like, I know he's going to play like that, so it's like, okay, well, maybe I will just go 3 gates with just Mass Dragoon and try to run him over and see what I can do. And Jaeyun has that in the tank, right? Jaeyun can play any style PvP. He's very good. So I think he'll have BoA on his toes a little bit, trying to figure out what is Jaeyun doing. But I think we're going to see a lot of standard stuff from BoA. I don't think he really deviates too crazy.
Okay, well, we'll see what he comes up with. We're going into game 1, I think, in a second. Yeah, as we see the bracket, DragOn already into the winner's match here. You can see the next map, or the starting map in that series, is going to be Apocalypse. Speaking of craziness with BoA, though, you know, what did I recently find out, like a month ago or something, he's playing on a laptop?
Currently, he does play on a laptop, yes.
That is absurd, because BoA is one of the highest rated NA players, you know, over the years. Like, he's consistently 2,500, 2,600. Yes, his ladder rating right now says 2,300, but that ain't the real MMR. He can definitely get up there. Jaeyun, he's coming from Gosu League, which is why you see he has no MMR. He plays second in Gosu League. That's how he got here. He's always really good in Pro League. I guess some seasons he just wants to smurf it up in Gosu League and just dominate.
He likes those free wins, you know?
Yeah.
Taking on the other players. Unbelievable. But the map here should be interesting. I know 2-player maps PvP, all sorts of nonsense can happen. And even a Dark Origin here, right? Like, if you want to send a first probe out, you could build 2 gateways in their base. You could build a gateway behind the second ramp in their base, where you can just either put 1 or 2 gateways. Like, whole bunch of shenanigans could happen here as well. I don't think either player does that so much, but I have seen Jaeyun in NAPL do double proxy gateways and take out BoA, so definitely could be a trick up his sleeve.
All right, well, let's get into game 1. It will be Jaeyun versus BoA. So in the top left, it is Jaeyun.
And in the bottom right, we have BoA.
Ooh, oh. I saw it was only 7 probes, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be a proxy. Seven probes, we're going for the forward pylon, but nope, it's just in the main.
Just standard.
Yep, so nothing unusual happening despite it being a 2-player map. I guess we still could have somebody 2-gate in their main, but I would find that extremely unlikely.
Probably not here. Dark Origin just isn't a great, 10-12 type of map. It's just far rush distance and just not worth it. But I'm interested to see what variation both players use.
Yep, there's the gas for BoA. As soon as I saw the pylon, I was thinking there's no way this is 2-gate. It's impossible. It has to be just single gate. And actually, there's gas already for Jaeyun, so it's not going to be like rally multiple zealots across the map. Everything looks just typically what you're expecting to see in PvP. You got a somewhat quick scout. It is a 2-player map, so you know where they are. I think this is a smart idea from BoA to figure out exactly what's going on. If with this intel, when he sees this, he'll be able to skip his zealot. Whereas Jaeyun, if he doesn't know what's coming, he may build a zealot and try and hold the ramp for something that's not coming.
Yeah, I agree. And skipping the zealot gets you up a probe right away. So that's BoA opts to build the zealot anyway. I guess he may be worried about gateway pylon, something like that, where Jaeyun could put some pressure or manor pylons. But one thing I noticed though, is that BoA's boosting was really clean. Like, he was able to get his gas significantly faster, like 5 seconds or so before Jaeyun. So he is definitely on his game right now.
Yeah, boosting is taking over these days. Yesterday I had my fastest 11 gas factory I've ever gotten. It was a 220 factory. I'd never gotten below 221. People don't think that's a big deal, but 5 seconds or 2 seconds, it's a massive deal. I'll give you a reason why, right? So one of the powers of the 11 gas versus 12 nexus is you get the vulture in before the goons get out. Now, a long time ago, there was a patch where the goon used to be 28 seconds and got changed to 32 seconds. So those 4 seconds, that's a big difference. And look at this. 3-gate from Jaeyun. You were calling it, man. He's pulling out your style here, mass goons.
Goon man incoming. And he's doing the really aggressive one where, he's cut a couple probes. So he's going to have a lot of Dragoons really quickly, even to the point where if BoA comes down his ramp and doesn't recognize it, he will get killed. And if he loses a Goon or a Zealot something early, Jaeyun might even opt to go up the ramp. So you can see here, we're pretty much stopping at 17 probes because we're just going to make Dragoons.
Yep, now BoA, he needs to sniff this out. He definitely cannot hold the bridges. Well, I mean, I guess he potentially could because the bridges are ridiculously OP. And we've got a Citadel. Late GP follow-up.
Yeah, really well read by BoA. I mean, this is definitely, that's something that's more common now, is that we see range and Citadel. It used to be like, if they have range, they're not going DT. And another mind game there. They show them range, you still get a DT.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that when Jaeyun pokes in with units and sees that the range is matching, you're not expecting there to be the DT. Like, you see that this guy's got range. It's different if you scout the range and they cancel it, but if they let it complete, that's really hard to read. As Zero's mentioning, you look at that, we've got a BSL discount going on right there, 18% off with BSL18. You want to rep the white hoodie like me, or you want to rep the maroon hoodie like Raz? Definitely check it out. We've got a big engagement, and BoA has massively overstepped. He's going to lose his first goon, he's going to lose his zealot, and this is a great trade for Jaeyun since we know he's all in here.
Yeah, he's going to have to go ASAP and get up there because the DTs are going to kill him. This is a hard map. I don't know if you can forge blocks somewhere on the ramp. I doubt it. Maybe 1-2 to help save yourself. But he's putting down a Nexus, so he is in a lot of trouble.
I think BoA's already helped because I don't think he can get up that quickly. There's also a battery. There's a probe on the ramp. And BoA, all he has to do is literally survive for like 10 seconds and he's fine. The probe. Oh, the clutch battery. Jaeyun's got to win here. It's not enough to get up the ramp. He's got to actually get in here and win the game. Like, shut down the pylons before they complete the DT. But the DTs are out. Hello. And there's no forge, by the way. He didn't like that pylon. He wanted to help Jaeyun a little bit because he's going to feel bad as these DTs walk across the map and start one-shotting everything.
Yeah, BoA's got to send the 1DT like he is now, because if he waits too long, Jaeyun can put a couple forges in the front over there, and he can get a cannon up. And if he does that and he loses all these probes, it's just a disaster here for BoA, because he's got a Nexus. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know if Jaeyun knows about spamming forges at the front and trying getting a cannon up, but he's canceled, and now he's going to try and save his main, but you've got to build so many cannons to save your main versus DT. I can see him saving his Nexus, but how does he save his gateways?
Oh man, I don't think he's going to be able to. And here we have the DT just hugging the goon.
What is going on? Does he not have vision? Okay, I was about to say, like, if there's a glitch here where neither player can see each other because of lack of vision, that needs to be changed. But DT has gotten in. The cannon will complete. I don't know if actually the cannon will range that DT. Building's kind of
not going to. Yeah, it's not going to there. It'll range it if it's on that robo.
Nothing.
But it will range it on the gateways and the pylon.
Okay, that was a new goon. I thought that one goon was still alive in the main. I was confused. But yeah, you can see Jaeyun. He had his one moment. It didn't actually play out well for him, and now he is in a doomsday scenario.
We're getting that one DT. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is really trouble now, right? Like, we lost all of our gateways. We got to rebuild all of those. He is up 5 workers, but I don't think that's enough here to do it. I think once these goons come in as well, they probably could just pair with the DTs and maybe take out a cannon or two from the top, or at least that one cannon, and start killing the gas.
Well, what's hilarious about this is, remember, BoA has range. If he sends any goons across the map, he can kill the robo. The cannons are not going to hit him.
That's true. He can just get it.
Yeah, and Jaeyun can't build any more units. All of his goons are dead. Well, except for that one. But yeah, if he just ranges the... Okay, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to range that goon. Now he's going to range the robo. And Jaeyun, you can't build anything. So he's even going to get the cybernetics. He's going to get an observer out, but he's going to observe himself losing his whole base. That's all he's going to do.
He can observe the DTs and the goons, but they will be taking away everything from him.
He can hit the Nexus from the bottom. I like how Jaeyun's upgrading +1, because what else are you going to use your money on? You might as well just get +1.
Yeah, I mean, Jaeyun just trying to hold on. Thinks he did enough damage that BoA is all in, but we do see that BoA's probe count has caught up to Jaeyun's. He has all of his infrastructure now. He's going to be way ahead in this game.
Yep, this is an impossible task. The Jaeyun's just now building gateways behind. Yeah, he realizes
there's
that
the GG.
No way that he could come back from that. So taps out. I did like Jaeyun's build, but it was clutch defense from BoA there after losing his first Zealot and first Goon. Thought he was in trouble, but the battery bought him enough time. Jaeyun did as much damage as he could, but not able. When he put down that Nexus, I thought to myself, like, isn't that risky to just straight build a Nexus and have no Forge?
Yeah, I mean, with that build, it's really hard to add the Forge as well, because if they're going 3-gate or something, then you're behind. But if he put that pylon down in his net and build 2 Forges, I think, or 3, he might be able to hold those DTs a little bit better. Just because be able to block it, put a cannon on the ramp, put a cannon behind, just build another Forge. If you could do that, even though it's all that investment on the Forges, you're still going to be way ahead from all the probes you killed. You're better off just doing that. So I thought he was going to cancel Nexus, put down the Forges, but what can you do?
What can you do, indeed, except for get into game 2. It is going to be Jaeyun's veto, and no, BoA's veto. Jaeyun's pick. And what's he going to come up with? The answer is he wants Apocalypse. So let's get into game 2 here. Jaeyun facing off versus BoA. Can BoA finish him off? Okay, in the top middle, up 1-0 in the series, it is BoA.
And the red Protoss in the mid left, it's Jaeyun. Now, this map also gets a little weird, right? Because no ramp. So aggression can really pay off for you if you can get high pressure and the other player doesn't. If he goes one gate robo, you just can bust him quickly as well. So I wonder if we'll see like a, quick 2-gate here from Jaeyun, like, a 20-second gate so he can get some high pressure, or if he's just going to go and try to play standard.
Yep, everything looks, again, very normal. This time around, BoA's piling a little farther forward than last. I wonder if that means anything. The gateway, that's high up there. I actually think that this could be a 2-gate, maybe, based on that positioning.
I like going 10-12 on this map. I know the distance is a little bit far, but with no ramp, you could definitely get some probes, but we're not going to see that.
Yep, there's 1-gate gas again and again. BoA wants to know what this guy is up to. He's going to be out on the map with his scout a little bit faster than Jaeyun. Now, will he get lucky? And the answer is no. He is going to find Jaeyun last.
I thought maybe he was going to check all over the center because some of the area is buildable. So maybe he thought Jaeyun was getting tricky, but not the case. He's not worried about it.
Yep, so mirrored builds once again. Zealot on the way for both sides. Jaeyun Zealot a little bit faster. Maybe he's boosting a little bit better. I will say BoA. With top middle, I have seen pros mine effectively. But whenever I get this spot, it's just a disaster for the mining. So maybe that's just affected the early stages for BoA.
Yeah, I agree. That base is not as good at mining as the others, but not too far behind, nothing too crazy. It feels like Jaeyun's going to want to go robo here with that forward pylon, so it looks like he might go 1-gate robo.
Instant range for both sides. Not a fake of weapon, or not a fake of it either. So, probe gets in, does confirm everything is standard. I guess I'm just now realizing Jaeyun didn't scout at all. Like, not even having a probe out in the map for initially scouting. Like, it's still just sitting. This is another 3-gate. You know, I was thinking this. You know, if I was Jaeyun last game, I'm not saying that I agree with this, but if I thought that I only lost that game because the map had a ramp, like if I could have gotten in faster, not having to deal with a ramp, why not go for 3-gate again? So he's going to go for it once more.
You know, it's hard. It's one of those, like, mind games now. Like, BoA's sitting there, oh, you went 3-gate all in last game. Will he do it again? Probably not, right? And sure enough, he is. And going 1-gate robo, so that could be some serious trouble if we don't go right into Reaver.
Well, are you able to read this as BoA? Because this guy just scouted me with a goon. Why are you not scouting at all in PvP other than trying to get, a little bit extra money in the early game? And, if you're trying to get a little bit of extra money in the early game, what else are you using those minerals on other than gateways?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still a little bit hard to read only because Jaeyun could be going DT behind this still. But BoA playing very safe build here. Robo in a 2nd gate. With the travel time, BoA should have a decent amount of goons. He won't have more, but he will have a decent amount. Maybe try to make an arc by the opening and just try to get a Reaver up. If he gets to Reaver up, he probably will hold this pretty easily. But if he goes across the map, he's definitely dead.
Yeah, he definitely can't make a move like that, especially with this 1-gate. I think if Jaeyun goes right now, I think he'll win. If he waits, I could see the Reaver getting up in time. But he is going to wait for 8 goons instead of going with the 5 that he has. He wants to make sure that he has, for sure, more goons than BoA. But this buys BoA time, and BoA can just retreat to his choke. He's got 2 gates, so he's got a lot of production. He just needs that Reaver, and it is about 20 seconds away from completing. And again, Jaeyun may just barely miss his window of opportunity because this is not an easy choke to get through when you just sit in an arc like this.
Yeah, and if that Reaver gets out, he'll be fine. So we're really going to be cutting it close here. And there it is, though. And he got the Forge this time. He said, not again. This won't happen 2 times.
Yeah. Well, you also got to factor in Reaver's got to build Scarabs. So actually, Jaeyun's got a few seconds, but you got to go. Reaver pops out, and here it is. This is what it all comes down to. The Reaver gets out. He's trying to focus down the goons ASAP. Reaver gets one Scarab off. That is massive damage. Can he get off? Oh, he got it. But it's 4 versus 4 now with a Zealot on BoA's side, and that means... Oh, actually, I forgot that this is not the only attack. Jaeyun has more units coming through the bottom.
Yeah, the problem is now he's gotten those goons killed, and we don't have enough now to bust through.
Yep, and actually, it was a little unlucky that BoA built an Observer instead of another Reaver. He's going to continue to push through, but it's 3 versus 3. Jaeyun can't really kill anything by the time this fourth goon pops out, but BoA's feeling the pressure. He pulls some goons. There's a battery coming. Oh, Zealot comes out, and that's going to shut this down. And now, Jaeyun's on the back seat. He is down 8 workers. Well, I guess make that 7. Why is it that whenever you make a statement like that, a player just completely nullifies what you just said?
They know. BoA felt it. He was like, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna throw that probe out there so it dies, man. Just get it out of here. But BoA handling this really well. I mean, he has recognized what the build is again. He sees it. He knows the pressure, how many goons came at what time. So with this shield battery, the chances of Jaeyun breaking in are pretty much 0 at this point.
Yeah, and the Observer's going to see the Forge. So he's going to know, well, and of course he sees no Nexus, so he knows that he's under no threat of having to get out onto the map ASAP to deny like an expansion or something. So Jaeyun, he is in a really, really rough spot. He just started his Robo. Like, he's going to have to face like 4 Reavers by the time he gets his first Reaver out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if he can catch BoA coming out through this choke, he can get something done, but with the Zealots and the Reaver, he should be okay. Well, I say that, but 1 Reaver stuck, man.
Yeah, but there's a battery here. It's just going to get healed. Look at how effective that thing is.
Oh, my goodness.
It doesn't die.
Ay. These poor Dragoons trying to come in, man. They're dead.
Yeah, and now BoA can expand. He could build a shuttle and just end the game.
Yeah, he can even just take 1 Reaver in the shuttle, leave the other one at home to defend, and just harass the probe line, knowing it's 1 base. You know, he sees everything with his Observer. He's just in a really good spot.
Well, that's not what you want to see as a Jaeyun fan. Zealots coming out. You know, you're desperate when you're building Zealots at this point. He's down army, he's down workers, he's down eco, he's down tech.
Pretty much everything, Nayoga. Pretty much everything.
Yeah, and these Zealots are going to melt. Like, they may lead the way, but all they're going to do is lead the Scarab right to their face where they get blown up immediately. Jaeyun, like, he needs to attack, but he can't attack. He's got to wait for his Reaver. That gives BoA even more time to get more units. I love how he's got the pylon at the front to soak up hits. First Reaver about halfway done for Jaeyun right now.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the 3rd Reaver here from BoA, knowing that you're so far ahead. They're just started it now. Just knowing you're so far ahead, as long as you hold, you don't got to do anything.
Yeah, I guess it could get a little bit dicey just because I see BoA has no units in his main. Like, if Jaeyun had a Reaver across the map right now, let's say, you know, BoA doesn't have an Observer to spot that. He has no defense in his main. You know, maybe he could get some damage done, but here we go. Jaeyun, he's got to make miracles happen with this 1 Reaver. He has nothing else to fall back on, no Nexus.
Yeah, this has to be it. He's got to get it all done. His problem is going to be 3 Reavers versus 1. So even with the greatest shots, things are going to be very difficult.
Well, Jaeyun does have arc advantage here. I think it's a little harder for BoA to attack into this. Like, Jaeyun's going to be really in a really good arc position. Okay, that was a good shot. Unloads. Okay, BoA just wants to force the fight, but he doesn't get the shuttle, actually. Where is BoA's shuttle? Where is it? This is the moment that Jaeyun was looking for. Oh, he hits the Reaver. Can he get the other Reaver? Oh, he got both Reavers. What is going on? BoA Where's your shuttle, dude? It's at mid-right. Why is it over there?
I think it has another Reaver in it, man, and that's not where it needs to be. He needs that Reaver here. Another big shot. Shuttle coming in here, but is it too late for BoA? Has Jaeyun done it?
Oh!
Oh my goodness, the shield battery. No, get the shield battery.
The battery is clutching it. Oh, but that means that the Reaver's not firing. What's Jaeyun's Reaver doing? They shoot blow for blow.
Oh my goodness. I feel his pain, man. Reavers, come on. You have a ranged attack. You don't got to go up there and, hit him over the head with the Scarab yourself. You can shoot it from afar. But he decided he was going to crawl in and, be as close as he could to that other Reaver.
Yeah. That was an interesting final attack, but it did make the game exciting for that last moment. Would it come down to one goon at the end for BoA? But with the additional Nexus, Jaeyun knew the writing was on the wall. I mean, he made it as close as it possibly could have been. I don't think it could have been a worse position for him. So nice attempted comeback there. He almost comes back in game 2, but that means that we get BoA through, which sets us up for Canada versus Canada Raz. Why can't we get a USA player in there?
Just not as good, man. We're just not as good.
Yeah.
Can't take down the Canadian players. It's just too much for us.
And we lost our best player last year. Our Tosis moved to Canada. Man,
he knew. He did. He wanted to be with the best NA players. That's it.
Yeah. So we're gonna be going into a break now, and then we'll be back with our winners match, which will be BoA versus DragOn.